Today's September 25th, 2017. Only 3 months till Christmas, John. Got your shopping done?
Yeah. No. No, I don't. Haven't even started, Andrew. I doubt if very many of us have.
You know what? I was thinking this morning. I said, I got to think of something I can say about this NFL thing without stepping on anybody else's toes. When I was out in Hawaii, I went to the Pro Bowl, which is pretty easy to get into, and I went with my brother, and we had a sign.
Back in the days when they played it there.
Yeah, and I had a sign that I made with my brother. It said, Aloha, Snowy Philly Neighbors, ESPN, right? Aloha, got it. And I think Randall Cunningham was the quarterback that year. And you're not allowed to have signs in the stadium. So I made this big white sheet, and we hung it up like in between, like in the Aloha Stadium. There's like an area you can walk in between. So we threw it out, and the ESPN guy put the camera on it because we kind of knew. He said, "Hey, just hold it up," and we had to get the sign down real quick. And then everybody in Philadelphia saw it, and they're like, "Hey, dude, we saw you out in Hawaii." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And this is before VCRs, otherwise I would have taped it. But is the NFL going to let people bring signs into the stadiums now? Because I know you're not allowed.
Who knows?
Should be allowed, right? Freedom of speech, right?
As you know, I agree with yours is a logical extension of the lack of leadership by Roger Goodell.
Let's go for it.
I mean, Roger Goodell has been just horrific as the alleged leader of, this multi-billion-dollar enterprise. I mean, here's the numbers, folks. Every team gets $244 million TV contract. Now, the TV contract, of course, is predicated on ads. It's not like they put it on TV for free just for everybody to have a good time. They're going to run ads. They're expecting a certain audience, just like if you have a TV show that starts missing its numbers. My example today was American Idol, Andrew.
Yeah.
When American Idol started slipping, Fox had to start doing make-good ads. That means you give somebody an ad that you could have otherwise sold, you have to give it to them for free to make up for the lack of viewership for the particular hour that they paid for. And I think the same thing's happening with the NFL now. Ratings are down, according to PolitiFact. I tweeted that this morning. Ratings are down, I think, almost 9%. PolitiFact chose to view that as Trump not knowing what he's talking about when he said that ratings are weak and this and that. It's like, well, down 9% for the biggest show on television, which the NFL is a big deal. So you've got, the Super Bowl, which is the biggest thing on television in the United States, and for the most part, outside of soccer for the world. But you've got ratings down. What do you think is going to happen? People are going to have to pay money back, and they're loath to do that. So what's your alternative? You do makeup ads. And so the NFL is degrading its product. And, for anybody who chooses to view that as racist, okay, I don't really see how that's the case.
So
what I think it is, Andrew, is just a lack of leadership by Roger Goodell.
So if you're looking at this as a stock, they're issuing more stock, and it's diluting your share price.
Yeah, exactly. And when you've got the biggest, let's take a look. I don't know if you need to go a lot further than Apple in this example. So you've got Apple, biggest stock in the world.
Which
NFL, most popular shows in the United States. Both of them have a decline of 9%. Apple actually declined almost exactly 10 when it slammed down from 165 after the announcement at their One Infinite Loop, the Apple campus, for the iPhone 8 and 10. Wait, who the heck didn't see that if you're bringing out the 8, and I didn't know when they would announce the 10, but if you're bringing out the 8 and the 8 Plus, and then you say, but by the way, a month from now, we're going to have a much better phone for a little bit more money. Who didn't think people would see about that better phone?
I saw that. And not defense of, but I did go to the Apple store this weekend just for kicks. I said to my son, let's go and look at these phones, just to see. They're nice. They're no different than my iPhone 7. The camera feature is kind of cool, which will be on the 10 that I get. But there was people.
Yeah.
There was people
And
buying them. There's people buying them. I mean, I guess
sure.
there's like maybe a corporate upgrades, and there's probably like a little niche of people that are like okay with the 8, not because they can't get the 10, it's because maybe somebody's buying it for them, like a company or something. I don't know.
Right.
There's some
Well,
people
and
there.
the 10 will have facial recognition, and its depth of facial recognition, which means, folks, that you can't hold it to a picture. It's got to be a face.
I saw those arguments. It's like, really? You're in like a Tom Cruise movie or something. Yeah, I'm going to take this picture. I'm going to open up your phone.
Well, it is a step up as far as security. I've heard that from like the head of security from J.P. Morgan Wealth Management told me that because of how it works, a lot of intelligence agencies are changing their policy because of how good the facial recognition is on the iPhone 10. And we have a reporter at CNBC, Todd is his name, and he has had the 8, and he's going to have the 10 now. And he says that, from what he's heard from the Apple reps, when he's gone down to the store in New York to go sample the 10, but not have it on his desk and use it 24/7 kind of situation yet. But he says it's amazing. Really? The facial recognition as far as security, the other stuff that the phone will do. So anyway, I think the NFL, tying it all back together, Andrew, is also seeing the same thing. Okay, 9% decline. Now, Apple didn't necessarily do anything. They're going to bring out a 10 at a very expensive break-the-bank price of $1,000 and $1,100 if you really want it, with the high memory and so forth. That's completely different than the NFL, which is basically committing Harry Carey on their own. The NFL is doing this because of Roger Goodell's lack of leadership. And instead of offering the players an opportunity to express their rights, which could include protesting, again, I'm not against that. I'm just against them doing it during the
I
game.
heard you say that on CNBC, like give them a minute to walk out to the middle of the field. The only reason that I could see doing that is so that you could throw shit at them. But that's another. I don't run
That's
the
a
NFL.
long throw for most of us.
I know,
That's
but it's if you want to get in the middle and everybody can boo you, like Gladiator. Remember the Gladiator? Remember the Russell Crowe gets in the middle.
Russell Crowe
gets in the middle, and they start going around with all the little things. Hold steady, come on, steady, And then the Battle of Carthage, I think it was. But yeah, if they do that in the middle of the field like that, and the NFL games will just turn into one big political rally. I mean, really, is that?
They've already done that.
I mean, seriously, that's what's happening.
Lack of leadership.
Boo.
Lack of leadership.
Boo.
That's what it is. Plain and simple.
All right.
He could have nipped this in the bud and said, look, nobody does this during the anthem, just like the NBA did 10 years ago or more. The NBA did that. The NFL should have done that, and then yet could have still recognized that people feel strongly about various protests that they think they need to air. Okay, give them a place for it. Everybody wins. But instead, everybody loses. The players become hated. The league loses viewers. You've now got good and bad players. Instead of, you've turned it into pro wrestling, basically.
I know.
Good and bad.
Not bad.
Because, okay, Alejandro Villanueva, good. The guys that kneel, bad. There were, it's not racial. It's black guys, white guys, Hispanic guys kneeling and so forth. Again, give them a time to do it if they feel that it's that important. And they really, as Pete would say, truly feel it in their heart, not just for this one little protest at midfield before a game, but they really feel that way all the time. In other words, this is a commitment, is to doing this because they dislike the president or whatever. It's just all so stupid, Andrew.
Anyway, let's move on. I'm so sick of this. My Twitter feed's ruined. Nothing's fun anymore. I'll tell you what I did buy today. that I've been waiting on.
What's that?
You know how I like to do fake trades, and I put them in, and then I wait, and if it comes down, Adobe came back down 10 points. It came down below where I put in my fake trade. Yeah, so I picked up some Adobe today, small.
Nice.
I like that company. I just love how
I bought some Apple because, just as I said, August 1st and 2nd. How many times have I been saying it on the show, folks? It had a gap from 149.5 to 159. Look at the gap on the chart. We just filled it today. You don't see it filled more perfectly than that. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but I had held off, and now I have pulled the trigger on it. So, I couldn't believe, Andrew. Some guys actually were giving me crap on Twitter saying, you didn't sell at the money calls. You didn't. I'm like, really? I tweeted it. I did it. I said it on live TV, and you don't think I did it?
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
They don't trade, John, so I wouldn't worry about it. Just wait till the lines for the iPhone 10 show up, and people are going to be like, oh, my God, there's a certain, whatever. The iPhone 10 day, everybody's going to love Apple. Now, another trade we saw today was the airlines, and I own American Airlines, and you saw trades in both that and
I saw
UAL.
In the money trades there. Yep, in the money trades in American, which I had, but I don't have anymore. And out of the money trades in UAL, which I have now, and I had not had before. So I like the UAL trades. They bought out of the money calls. They sold out of the money puts to pay for it. That's a pretty gutsy trade. I like it. That's why I jumped in that.
Okay, and the last one is Pete has Home Depot.
Yeah. Upside calls in Home Depot. I don't think you're going to be wrong in Home Depot to be in this, and it's not just a hurricane play. I think it's a play for all kinds of good reasons. So I didn't pick them up yet, but Pete already has them. If I get an opportunity this afternoon, I'll do that same.
All right, so everybody's up to date. All right, man. Well, I'll let you rock.
All right. Well, Andrew, you have a great one. I will be here in New York, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully get more than one of these podcasts up between now and Friday. So tune in, check it out. Remember, if you're signed up, if you're subscribed through Google Play or through YouTube or through iTunes, you'll know exactly when the shows come out. So make sure you do that and tell a friend.
Stations, yeah, we're one big country nation now.